And here we are settling in, especially helping those of us who have come from other places in our heads to land with a reading, which is taking a little amount of time to help us land in the here and now. And we are going with our tried and true 365 Tao. Reflection. Moon above water, sit in solitude. If waters are placid, the moon will be mirrored perfectly. If we still ourselves, we can mirror the divine perfectly. But if we engage solely in the frenetic activities of our daily involvements, if we seek to improve our own schemes on the natural order, and if we allow ourselves to become self absorbed in self centered views, the surface of our water becomes turbulent. Then we cannot be receptive to the Tao. There is no effort we can make to still ourselves. There is no effort we can make to still ourselves. True stillness comes naturally from moments of solitude where we allow our minds to settle. Just as water seeks its own level, the mind will gravitate toward the holy. Muddy water will become clear if allowed to stand undisturbed. And so too will the mind become clear if allowed to be still. Neither the water nor the moon make any effort to achieve a reflection. In the same way, let meditation be natural and immediate. And with that said, let's just help us be a little more even and find your opening QiGong position, which I am going to continue with modeling the seated version, encouraging all of you who want to stand, find your stance, settle in, and land, arrive here and now. What feels like a new time calendar wise, and in this is their time space. Who knows where we are? Does it even matter? We are here. We are now. Let us begin. Bringing our hands up above our heads, gathering the energy and bringing it down through us. Breathing in, looking up, opening to the above, gathering the energy through your body, releasing the old. And maybe that's all you'll do. Or maybe as you become more clear, there is room to refresh, renew, invigorate with the new. 9 more times. Let us collectively, as a community, sweep up our hands together. All that beautiful grounded earth, water, still grounded, opening to above, streaming in all of that immaterial energy, clearing and energizing. Palms resting to the earth. Crown open to the sky. Forward rotation starting back, rolling forward. Tracing the energy flowing up our back, over our head, down our front, our microcosmic orbit, circulating. Approximately 9 revolutions. Allowing the movement to slow and become more subtle, more inner awareness. And after this one, let us all pause together at the bottom before we do our last round in our circle. One circle together, feeling our connection, including those not with us today, resting. Now backward revolutions, beginning by going forward, up and around. Hands tracing the water wheel of energy, powered by our lower energy center, flowing, invigorating. Do one more before we all come to rest together at the bottom where water seeks the lowest common denominator and flowing up, nourishing your front yin, you're vulnerable, down, invigorating. And now this time, arms out. Special focus today on gathering us together. After a time of pause, including those not in our circle, including everyone we want to bring in to this healing, holding practice. Bring your hands together from here, getting ready to go into our concentrating. Hands starting at the left, dropping down, coming up to the right, up and over, concentrating, circling the energy around our foundational energy center. Awareness in the center of your belly, even as your hands are circling around, and they are perhaps generating warmth and energy. One more conscious rotation, and when you reach the left, let your energized hands stream in towards your lower energy center, where the waters gather, still in the cauldron, yet heated, can be invigorated, can be bubbling. Check in with your cauldron here today. What does it need or want? Is it happy to be still? Or do you need to breathe and flame that fire? Going now towards between heaven and earth, left below, right above the crown, and sweeping, meeting at our heart center in the middle. Looking up as we breathe out, extending before we sweep, integrating in the middle, and exhale, fully extending, feeling ourselves as that being, seemingly separate being between sky and earth. Integrate and flow. Let us all, after this one, come to our starting position and do one in unison, knowing that we are all one, flowing the mother from below, reaching out to the Father above, letting the above hand drop down, deeply grounded, whether it's on your feet or on your sit bones, to the earth. Special attention to core, strong central column, up to your crown, crown open to the sky. Moving now to the Tai Chi, starting to the left and sweeping up, palms meeting in the middle, and then far out to the right, full inhale. Exhaling to full exhale to the left. And after a time of, as always, of conscious of the breath, let it go and let it breathe you. Breath flowing freely. And then when you next come to the left, pause a moment there so we all gather. Empty at the start. Let us flow through. And empty at the finish. Hands dropping down to your belly. Aware of inner flow, becoming more still. Breath quieting. Moving now to our earth, spleen, pancreas, hands rising like wings out to the side and flowing forward as we breathe out. Breathing in and out. Opening wide, gathering in. With you feeling this movement that can mean so much. What is the meaning of these moves for you today? As you are in your penultimate move, prepare to pause below as we take the last move together. Grounded here, one belly, one body, sending out whatever this aspiration or prayer has been to those we choose, perhaps the whole world. Hands to your belly, shoulders so soft, so relaxed. Whatever worries and cares could possibly have remained after that, let it just slide down and the earth will receive it. The mother will carry it. Going now to our water movement. Contact with the waters below, drawing hands into our sides, pressing down, sweeping around by our kidneys, and shooting out. Shwee. And as still or as meaningful as you make it. All of us arriving once again with our hands lightly floating on the one water that unites us on this earth. Bringing it in, sweeping it down, cleansing, purifying, releasing. Hands dropping down, floating. Loosen up the groundedness a little bit and float. Float on the feeling interconnected waters. Now, last water, hand sweeping out behind, circling around, gathering in, placed on our kidneys, place of fear. Release. Gathering in that pure healing water, transmitting that energy to your base human fear, and release, cleanse. Here is your penultimate move, done strictly for yourself. All you have to clear. And let us gather here together for however many beyond ourselves we would like to bring in. Cleansing fear, very potent this week. Hands resting. For any little piece or ocean of anxiety you have left, take a moment here to creep in to the womb of Mother Earth. And however much guilt you may have about how we've abused her, allow yourself for a moment to feel safe, encompassed, held deeply by the Mother Earth. Okay, coming out of that, but feeling strongly this water umbilical cord connection with the compassionate, loving mother. We go now to our final clothing, scooping up from her, bringing that compassion through us, opening to the above, bringing in the light, bringing in the commitment, knowing that there is work to be done, bringing even that in to our bubble, our aura. Yes, we are separate beings, and yet we remain deeply connected to the mother. And we have the sense of this very fluid, flowable, and yet protective bubble that encases us as one cell, one being, one body. Even as we stream in from above and remain securely attached below. Going through your penultimate we arrive below together and as one being, seemingly separate, for our one world, bringing up the nourishment. Opening to the guidance and the protection. This time, right hand sweeping in front of the left, marking our permeable boundary ceiling, hands coming up to our heart level, and then dropping down. Breathing out, exhaling, release to the earth. Release, release. As you hold empty, align. And as you draw in a new fresh breath, draw in that energy through your central core, up and out, and exhale, open to the sky. Release, release. And as you are empty here, align. And when you are ready to breathe in, rain down that energy, marking your permeable bubble. Hands coming to your belly and sitting for a moment, really getting how this feels for you. Perhaps it is like a soap bubble, iridescent, shining. Don't need a shield, filled, glowing, radiating. Perhaps you feel you're sitting in a strong pyramid, one firmly encompassing you above. Perhaps you can feel that one inverted underneath you, reaching deep into the earth. Continue to develop what this state of being is for you. And now one deep conscious breath before we move to our Tao Yoga position. Settling yourself in. To start with, feet not entirely too much crossing, perhaps they are. You've got your position. Hands on your knees, circling, starting to the left. It means what you think it means. One more rotation to the left. Coming to center. Still. Remembering our opening words that we cannot will ourselves to stillness. Flowing now, circling to the right. And as there is outer flow, is there inner stillness. Let us all come front and center. Dropping our shoulders. Any tension left running off like raindrops from our shoulders. Hands clasped, infinity symbol below. Going more and more into free flow, your own time, your own reflection. Let us all come down to the below infinity before we rise up once more. And I would like to add the idea, as we're discussing imagination in our community, that if you have a pain point at any time or the whole way up, allow whatever is needed. If it's angel hands, if it's birds' wings, if it's chiropractic adjustments, whatever comes to you, to allow a little more grace and ease to this flowing movement up. Let us rise again. Open to that healing. Is this imagination, or is this healing? And as you drop below, anchor in healing arrived. Pressing our hands 3 times into our belly, sealing the energy, receiving the healing. And from here, coming to your meditation position, which for me means bringing hips up on the cushion, folding one foot over the other, however you settle in. Taking time. hands cupped, thumbs pressed together, down here by our lower energy pool, cauldron, place where all water sinks lowest, foundational. Floating here, allowing yourself with your hands as the outer symbol to imagine the reservoir of water within you. What is the state of that reservoir? How much water is there? There is a pond nearby that is dear to many of us that became quite drained at the end of this drought, needing to be drained more because of our overconsummation. Ah, this feels distressing. Water is feeling. A short moment of feeling into, should your reservoir not be absolutely beautiful? Allow it to evolve now. See what happens naturally. Healing waters rising, sent by the mother, falling down from the father skies. And with your conscious will and intent, which our imagination also can use, develop your oasis within, your water reservoir. Let there come animals, plants, friends, other beings perhaps than humans. Let it unfold. And now, perhaps before we leave this space, we started with this as the reservoir in our belly. If we have this as our still healing water sanctuary, a place we can go for retreat, refreshment, reflection. Perhaps have a place that feels comfortable, safe and secure, where at any time you need to, you can come to this place and from there let yet another new refreshing, reflective, renewing sanctuary unfold for you. 3 deep breaths before we come back. Letting this vision slowly dissolve, but for each exhale, determining it remains within us, committing perhaps to coming back as we so desire, as a resource. And then now, for those of you who need to zoom on, thanking you for being present in the circle today, light in us, water in us, honoring each and every. Before we go now to our sharing.